Hey friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark and sell them hopefully for a profit. Today is Monday, March 31st, and I have 12 items that I'm shipping out. The gross sales amount is $314.01. And this is 3 days worth of sales. So this is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the last 3 days. The first item is a bra, and it is new. I love finding new bras. I do find that colorful bras, lacy bras, push-up bras, that they sell pretty quickly. This is the brand Notori, and I like this brand in general, but it helps that it had a tag on it from Nordstrom. $68 is the original price, and I sold it for $30. That was based on the average sale price and the sell-through rate, which wasn't good, honestly, if I'm being real honest. I did not look up the sell-through rate information for you today. I usually do, and I just didn't feel like it today. Sorry if you enjoy that. If you don't, then it doesn't matter. But I just listed this 3 days ago, so I remember that the sell-through rate wasn't very good. I was kind of surprised because Notori, every time I've listed Notori, it's sold pretty quickly, other than I had a fleece, like animal print robe, and that never sold. I ended up donating it. So anyway, this sold in 2 days. 3 days on Poshmark. And I bought it for $2 at a local thrift store. And that makes my profit $22, which is amazing. I love these number 4 boxes for my bras, hats. I think that's about it that I sell on Poshmark. Usually, if I would sell it on eBay, I would use an 8x6x4 box. And I also use those for belts, but I use a smaller box for belts on Poshmark, if that makes sense. All right, so most of my items, I think 9 of the 12 sold within 3 months. A couple of them sold on a clearance sale. I have been, over the course of the month of March, slowly lowering through a sale on eBay my coats, sweaters, fleece, and flannel. And I have even included new items that I have recently thrifted, just because I really wanted to get them, I really want to get them sold, because while I do have people buy coats, sweaters, fleece, all times of the year, the likelihood goes down significantly. So this is one that I just listed and it's sold in the clearance. So this is Ellen Tracy. It's 100% merino wool, and it sold for $6.38. That was not my intention when I bought this at all. I bought it at a church sale and I spent $3 on it. And yeah, I was hoping to sell it for like 25, which I think is what I had it listed for. Maybe I only had it listed at 20 because it's an extra small. And so when I was looking at listing it and then should I put it in the clearance sale, I was like, it's an extra small. In my experience, extra smalls take a longer time to sell. Unless it's like an extra small petite. And this was not. So, I don't know. Not a great sale. I bought it for $3, like I said, after fees, shipping, and my cost of goods. Let's see, I'm sorry, they paid a total of $11.95 on eBay. And so then that makes my profit $2.34. Yikes. That's not good. Like I said, that's not really my intention when I'm buying things to resell, to make $2 on it. If that's your intention, that's cool, but That's just not what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for about $15 in profit, and sometimes I get that. And that's exciting. This is one of those things. This is actually a Free People top. It's kind of cropped, and it's a thermal knit, like a waffle knit. I'll show you the Free People tag if you don't know it. It's usually metal like that. There's also a little brand called Poof that has metal tags, and I get excited about those tags sometimes, and then I go, that's not what it is. Not Free People. Anyway, this one is Free People. I sold it for $19.96. I had it listed for $25, and then I send out 20% off offers on both eBay and Poshmark. So this one sold on eBay with shipping. They paid a total of $26.10. I paid 64 cents for it, which is insane. At one of my favorite thrift stores, had a bag sale that I happened upon. And so my cost of goods is already really low there, but then it was extra low. Crazy. Love it when that stuff happens. This only took 28 days to sell, which is kind of shocking for me. My guess is the sell-through rate wouldn't be very high on that. Most Free People items, I find it's not, unless there's something. There are some exceptions to that rule. There's always exceptions, right? My profit is $15.63, so I'm pleased with that. This is something that also I listed. I don't know, it's unclear. I either listed it 2 months ago or 5 months ago. I think it was just 2 months ago based on where it was in my inventory, but this is an Untuck It plaid shirt. And this is one of those things that I am usually really good about keeping records, where things come from, how much I paid for them. I use Vendu for all of that, as I run over my words. But for some reason, I don't have any information on this. It is a double XL, which makes me think I bought it for my husband and he didn't want it for whatever reason. It is kind of like a lightweight flannel, and he's not real big into that. Do you think that this possible gentleman will care if I send it in a mermaid? Polly Miller. Okay, because I had flannel in the title, it did end up in my 60% off sale. So it sold for $7.98 and $12.99 was the total that they paid with shipping. Untuck It also does not have a great sell-through rate anymore. So I don't know. It was already listed for at least 2 months, so maybe 5 months. It's unclear. I have $0 as the cost of goods. It potentially was for us. $5.66 is my profit. I don't know. I do these like percent off sales, and then I'm like, is it worth it? I don't know if it's worth it, because while I'm getting rid of a few things, like things like this, man, I don't know. This is Jack's, I think that's how you say that name. This is a jacket, you know, like a shirt jacket. It's pretty heavyweight. I got a message from, I'm assuming, a gentleman, and I have best offer on all my items, most of my items. All, like I say, there's always an exception. But when I do a cutoff, so like, I don't know exactly what it would have been with this, but if I had this listed for $25, I didn't want to take any more than $15 for it. I would do an automatic rejection at $15. You can set that up on eBay or through Vendu, which is how I list my items. So I don't know what the dollar amount was on this, what that my like lowest offer was, but it was set up as a lowest offer. And so I got a message, and they were like, it was like, you have offers on, but you're declining my offers, like question marks. And I just said, yeah, that's because it's already 60% off. Like, this is in my 60% off sale. It's lower than an offer I would accept. He wanted $8 for it. So I responded, and I think I responded nicely, but I went ahead and just sent him the $8 offer because it was only like 9 something at the 60% off. And I was like, am I really going to argue about a couple dollars on something that this doesn't have a great sell-through rate? I did sell a similar one for $20. So, I mean, it's not like it was like a $50 item that I'm selling for $8. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I've done. Whether it's right or wrong or good or bad, I don't know. I don't know that that's even up for debate at this point. That took 2 months to sell. I bought it at the bins. It was a heavier item, so I have my average cost of goods at $3. My profit is $3.95. I also get my $3 back. So that is something to think about. And remember, these I also bought at the bins. These are good. I don't know that the sell-through rate was really high on these. I don't remember, but these are pretty cool looking, right? That piqued my interest. And they're Nike Jordans, actually. And then it says Flight. They're called the Flight Heritage Nike Air Jordan pants, and new with tags. That was exciting. Little bins find. These I had listed for $80, and I know early on when I had first listed them, somebody offered me something really low, and I declined it. And then I always question myself, like, was that the right thing? And thankfully this one worked out in my favor. So it did sell for the $80, but I have a 15% off coupon on my store all the time. So they used that coupon. So plus shipping, they paid a total of $77.95, which I think is great. Like, that's real close to 80 bucks. So I paid, when I go to the bins, the Goodwill outlet where you pay by the pound, I average most of my goods at $2. And then if it's significantly heavier or significantly lighter, I will adjust. And generally, it all evens out to about what I spent. Again, I don't know if that's the right way or the wrong way to do it, but that's the way I do it. I'm not telling you how to do it that way. I know the last time I actually did like an actual cost of goods average, it was $1.61 per item. So I think it all evens out in the end. And I submit my actual costs for tax purposes, not based on what I put in my Vendu spreadsheet. So I have taxes on the brain because I waited way too long. They're finished, but I'm like stressed out about it. Like, I waited too long, and so then I hurried, and I'm like, am I missing something? And anyway, I just have taxes on the brain. These did sell promoted. There were a couple things, I don't know, I meant to tell you as I went along, but I might have forgotten some. Missed some, really. A couple things that sold promoted. I promote it's generally between 2 and 3%. I recently bumped it up to 5, and I switched it back to 3, and some of them didn't make it in the switch. So some of my items are promoted at 3% and some at 5%. I paid an extra $2.50 in fees for these pants. So with fees, shipping, and my cost of goods, my profit is $54.89. Yay! So I will talk a little bit about it tomorrow when I do like a recap of the month. But I sold 4 like really good items this month. Most of my items sell between $15 and $25, but I sold 4 over $50 this month, which is amazing. And one was really good if you didn't see that. This is a little nighty, nightgown, slip. I'm not really sure what to call these things. This is Victoria's Secret. I just like flashed that, but you probably know what Victoria's Secret looks like, right? Anyway, this is like a crossy racerback lacy thing in the back. It's super cute. I bought a whole bunch of Victoria's Secret nighties, nightgown. I don't know, what do you call them? Sleeping things. I bought a whole bunch of them at a yard sale in the fall, and they've all sold now. This is the last one. So that's exciting. This one took 5 months to sell, which, considering it's the last one, I think that's pretty good. This one did sell on Poshmark for $14. I paid $1 for it. Because it's sold on Poshmark and I'm out of my Tyvek mailers, I'm going to use a padded flat rate. And my profit is $10.05. Not too bad. If you don't know, if you sell something on Poshmark under $15, there's a flat rate of $2.95. It is not the 20% if it's 20% if it's $15 and above. All right, this is another clearance item. My brain. If you are new, the brain malfunctioning is not uncommon. Okay, this is the only one I think I'm sad about, because look at this. Is that not the coolest sweater? It's so cool. It's painted on the back, everything. It is so cool. It's Colorway USA is the brand. It has this paper tag. It's made in the USA. I mean, this thing is magnificent. Now, I probably didn't use the right keywords with it because I don't know what. I used like art type keywords, but this thing is gorgeous, and it's sold for $15.98. Like, it should have sold for $50, right? I had it listed at $50 when I relisted. I've been relisting in March, which when we're done, we'll talk about the March listing challenge if you're doing that. So I've been relisting. That's been my goal in March. And so this got relisted. I bumped the price down to $40, and then it was 60% off of that. So $15.98. They paid $20.78 total with shipping. I think actually they also used the 15% off coupon. So I mean, they paid 20 bucks for this sweater. It's amazing. Somebody got a fantastic deal. I have had this for a long time, like 11 months, so almost a whole year. So it did go through a full like fall winter cycle. So that makes me feel a little better about it. It's not like I just listed it in February and, you know, didn't get a whole year. Anyway, I paid $5 for it, which I would do that again, I think. That one makes me just a little bit sad. My profit is $6.53. Big bummer. That's all right. Linen. Linen is selling. It's starting to. This one, is it a linen blend? No, it's 100% linen. And it's Ralph Lauren. So 100% linen, Ralph Lauren. It sold for $17. That was an offer someone sent. I had it listed at $25, I think. And it does have a little, I think all the cool guys would call that a hit. I am not a cool guy, so I don't call it that. Logo, That's what I would call it. Anyway, it sold for $17 plus shipping on eBay. They paid a total of $23.31. I paid $2 for it at one of my favorite thrift stores. And it took 6 months to sell. That feels a little long, but 6 months ago was fall and winter. So, you know, I'm pretty sure it just needed to wait until spring. I just got out all my linen stuff last week because I am ready to ditch the sweaters and wear all my linen. So, I'm assuming other linen wearers are feeling similar and maybe buying some new stuff. And my profit is $11.68. That's not quite the $15 that I'm, you know, hoping for, but it works out okay. All right, this is a set that I actually put together in one listing, and it sold on eBay. So I had all of these listed separately. A couple of them were in when I was purging my 2023 listings, and I was like, I'm gonna have to lint roll this. I was like, maybe I'll just put them together. And so I ended up pulling one out that I listed in 2024 and just going ahead and putting them all together. But they are these sweatshirts. There's 2 sweatshirts. This is the Red Hat Society. I used to know a lady who was in the Red Hat Society, and that's how I know about it. But these are actually vintage sweatshirts. Just based on, well, I think they're vintage. Maybe they're not. They might not be. I think they are. But, and then this purse. So the Red Hat Society is like older ladies, and they get together and have parties, and they wear red hats and purple outfits and cutie little sweatshirts. So I'm gonna lint roll these sweatshirts later and put all that. I'm just gonna put it in one of my big poly mailers. These are 18 by 14. My smaller ones are 10 by 13, and these colorful ones a viewer sent me, and I love them so much. They make me so happy. Okay. This was bought by a viewer, and this is a little like canvas crossbody bag. It's the brand Duluth. I thought it was so cute, and Duluth usually sells pretty well for me. And yeah, this sold in 10 days. Now I will tell you, it had a 0% sell-through rate. I bought it without looking it up because that brand just sells pretty well for me, but on eBay, there were none sold. So I priced it at $25 and then sent 20% off offer. I sent out a 20% offer, so it sold for $19.96 plus shipping. They paid $28.18. This is heavy and kind of going far away from me, so a little bit more expensive to ship. And I bought it for 3 days, $3 10 days ago at a local thrift store. So my profit on this is $13.68. Thank you so much for buying from me. I appreciate that. You certainly don't have to. It makes my day. It makes me very happy. All right, this is interesting. Also something that sold in my 60% off sale. And it's a hunting jacket. It's called Game Hide. I don't know that you need to know that particularly. This came from my in-laws. They sent home, my husband went there for something, work or something, I don't remember. And they sent home a bunch of stuff, and it was really nice of them. There was, I know I sold a Columbia fleece a couple weeks ago that they sent. There were some other things, but actually this is working out. I'm just gonna go ahead and shove this in here. This sold for $12.78. In total, they paid at $22.02. It's actually the end of hunting season. I mean, here, hunting season is usually like fall. I also don't know all the hunting seasons. I just think of deer season because that's what I'm most familiar with. Anyway, I had zero cost of goods because it came from my in-laws. It took 6 months to sell, and my profit is $11.83. So that's it. My profit for the weekend, the 3 days, is $173.42. So that makes me very happy. My goal is $67 a day, for a total of $2,000 a month. And I will talk all about that and those numbers tomorrow when I do like a month wrap up. So make sure you come back for that. If you have been doing the listing challenge, make sure you let me know below how you're doing. And I will let you know I am giving myself an 80%. I did okay. Definitely better knowing that I was checking in with you, knowing just that accountability helps me so much. Like knowing like I'm going to have to get on the video and say, I didn't do a great job or I missed this day. And while I am all about giving grace and moving on, there's still something like challenging about that. And makes me want to do better, makes me want to do my best and work hard, maybe put in a little more effort than I would have, knowing like I'm gonna have to come in and say to you like I didn't get this done. So last week, just over this past weekend, there were just some things that came up, and I was struggling with my allergies all week. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, probably last week as I did the voiceovers for my Thrift With Me videos. I feel very like congested, just my allergies. And there was something about it that just, there was so much pressure in my head. Like when I got in front of a computer, I could not focus. It just felt like my eyes were crossing. And so that made it a little tricky. So there were like 2 days last week that I did a few, but I did not get in my total 15 relisting. That was the goal that I was focusing on for this month. So I will tell you in general, I right now currently am listing 5 items per day, cross-listing 5 to Poshmark, 4 to Depop, and then really trying hard to delist and relist 15 items, but do it well and not just click, 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 but going through, switching up the titles a little bit, making sure the pictures are okay, making sure they're in the correct categories, making sure the used condition is correct, whether it's fair, good, or excellent, maybe adjusting the price. There have been a couple things that I've gone back and redone average, comps on average sale price, the sell-through rate, and adjusted accordingly. There are some things that I've had for a really long time that I've just adjusted price for just to try and get it moving. Really making sure that all my item specifics, well, not all, but some of the item specifics are filled out, as many as I can. And so that's been my focus this month. That number has changed since the beginning of the month, and I'm okay with that. I had started out, I think, saying I was going to list 8, and then my goal was to do 20 or 30 a relisting, and I found out very quickly that that was too much. It was taking way too long. I did not have the time in the day to actually get that much accomplished. So I bumped that back down to 10, I believe, and then bumped it back up to 15. So there's been a little bit of an adjustment throughout the month, but I think that's okay. The point is to be consistently listing, whether it's 1 item a day, whether it's 30 items a day, just to consistently be listing. I'm not entirely sure how it all works, but everybody says that consistently listing is what helps sales on eBay. So that is my update, the end of the challenge. If you have not done the challenge, why don't you give a little celebration emoji, woohoo, yay, we're done, we did it. But of course tomorrow's a new month, and so I'm not doing a specific listing challenge here, but my goal is to continue with the relisting because I wasn't able to do 20 or 30. I certainly did not get through all of my listings. And I really wanted to get through a good majority of them. So that is a little bit disappointing, but I'm just going to continue on, keep trucking on, making sure that I'm listing something new every day. 5 is my goal. And then, you know, really just focusing on that delisting and relisting. All right. My question of the day. How did you feel about the Thrift With Me videos? That was definitely out of my wheelhouse. It was fun. I had intended on really being able to take a break, but the way it worked out, I could not disconnect from YouTube completely. I did not respond to any comments. That was kind of nice, but now I am going to have to make up and go respond to those comments. So just curious what your thoughts were on them. Be kind if you didn't like them, you can say that, but don't be rude about it. And I don't know. That's all, I think. Did I tell you all the things? I told you all the things. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you so much. Make sure you like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you soon.